नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण मैं नहीं मेरा नहीं यह तन किसी का है दिया।
मैं नहीं मेरा नहीं यह तन किसी का है दिया।
अपने पास है वह धन किसी का है दिया।
जो भी अपने पास है वह धन किसी का है दिया।
मैं नहीं मेरा नहीं यह तन किसी का है दिया।
मैं नहीं मेरा नहीं यह धन किसी का है दिया।
देने वाले ने दिया वह भी दिया किस शान से।
देने वाले ने दिया वह भी दिया किस शान से।
देने वाले ने दिया वह भी दिया किस शान से।
देने वाले ने दिया वह भी दिया किस शान से।
मेरा है यह लेने वाला कह उठा अभिमान से।
मेरा है
चरण सरोज रज निज गुरु सुधारे। वरन रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति लोक उजागर। राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंजित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हर्षि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोज सकावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारे तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपै, तीनों लोक हाकते कापै। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै, महावीर जब नाम सुनावै। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै, मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावै। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है, प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा, जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी। बरनउ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायक फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरौ पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीसति हूँ लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज संवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज संहारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय।
संस्थापकं वीरम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
Abhinandan. Jai Shri Krishna to all. I pay my humble obeisance to Pujya Swami Govindev Giriji Maharaj. Swami Vivekanand once said, "The knowledge of Atma is the highest aim of Geeta." With these words in mind, on behalf of Geeta Parivar, I, Naisha Chawda from Bangalore, would like to welcome all the Krishna devotees and Geeta lovers of May Jan 23 L4 batch to this yet another beautiful and meaningful interpretation session of the last part of the 8th chapter by respectable Shraddha Raodeo Didi. In our Sanatan culture, no auspicious work is started without prayer. And so, without further delay, for the beginning prayer, I would like to call Aparna Didi Joshi. She is from Chikli, Maharashtra, and is associated with Geeta Parivar since March 2021 and is serving as a core trainer in L4 currently. She's a homemaker and a graduate. Aparna Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णौ वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णौ वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Didi. In the darkest of times, a deep can bring hope, guidance, and the path to Lord Krishna. Let us now witness the lighting of the deep by Sadhana Chidravar Didi, who belongs to Maharashtra. She has been a part of Geeta Parivar since July 2022. She's serving as a tech, mentor, GC, and also serves as the principal of an engineering college. She is now pursuing her PhD. Over to you, Didi. We are unable to hear Didi. Thank you, Didi, for the divine darshan. Moving on now to the heart of today's session, the meaningful and inspiring Arth Vivechan that our dear Shraddha Didi will now do. Shraddha Didi is a resident of Hyderabad and has worked as a mobile application developer and team lead for over 13 years. She's associated with online Geeta Parivar classes since August 2020 directly as a trainer and currently takes classes also in the Bhopal jail, where sadhaks have cleared the Jignasu exam. Didi is also a disciple of Swamiji Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj, and she also gives her seva as a trainer, examiner, Vivechak as we have her here today, and heading the monitor class monitoring team. Jai Shri Krishna Didi, all ears to you. Please go ahead with the meaningful Vivechan.
Thank you, Naisha Devi. Jai Shri Krishna, everybody. A very warm welcome to the session, all of you. Let's begin on this Ekadashi. Today is Ekadashi, and we are all blessed to be discussing such an important chapter, Akshara Brahma Yoga, on this divine Tithi. So let us remember Swamiji, Parampita Paramatma, Shri Krishna, and then begin our session. Hari Om. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranatakleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayana Swayam Vyasena Krathitam Puranam Nina Madhya Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavati Mashtadasha Dhyayini Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad-gītā Bhavatveshinu Om Shri Gurave Namaha Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha Hari Om. So, warm welcome to another session of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā's important chapter, that is Akshara Brahma Yoga, and it's a very philosophical chapter. So far what we have seen is extremely deep, very something very thought-provoking we have seen so far. We have discussed some very important principles in our culture. A lot of importance has been given to the time of death, and it's a natural tendency of human beings to avoid thinking about the time of death. But now, with the discussions that we've had so far in this chapter, we are more equipped to take it more positively, understand the importance of the time of death, and understand the value of accumulating good deeds over the life and having a very graceful departure for the journey ahead. So beautiful principles we have seen so far, how Shri Krishna has described, Yomam Smarati Nityasha Tasyaham Sulabha Partha, how by continuously remembering me, at appropriate time, a person can attain me. attain the Parabrahma Tattva. And today we had stopped at a point where we were seeing that everything in this Brahmand, everything that is present in this Srishti, right from a small atom, smallest of the creature, mosquitoes or anything as small as what you can imagine, till Brahmadev himself, Brahma Bhuvanal Loka Punaravarti Norjuno, they also have to keep coming and keep going. That is the most important thing. We had seen, and Mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. So don't think that we are human beings and we are only stuck in this cycle of life and death. It's not only us, but even Brahmadev himself is in this cycle of life and death. Brahmadev also has his own life cycle. Brahmadev also has his own duration of time. So all these important things, what are those durations? How is that time calculated? All that we will be seeing today. So let's begin with the shlokas for today. Sahasrayuga paryantam aharyat brahmano viduhu ratrayuga sahasranta deho ratravido janaha. We all now hear from this particular shlok. Krishna is telling us a tale about Srishti and Pralay. Srishti is the creation, what we see around ourselves, and Pralay is the time when there is nothing around us, a complete darkness, a time where we don't see anything, a time of doom, where everything is being destroyed, covered. Srishti and Pralay. Now, when we look at these words, they sound very heavy, isn't it? Srishti, Pralay. But if you look at it, we can simplify it to a very simple stage. Even now we all are listening to the Vivek, we are having a discussion. This is a daytime for us, daytime, evening time, but we are in Jagrat Sthiti. This is our Srishti. When we will go to sleep after a couple of hours, we will not remember what we have done throughout the day. For that particular time, that is the Pralay time. So every day also, if we look at it from a very, heavy duty thinking, if we do, there is a lot of creation of the world and depletion of the world, all that. But this is something we are experiencing on a daily basis. We have to understand that there is a Srishti when we are Jagrat, when we are awake, we are having this is our daytime. When we are sleeping, we have no memory of what has happened, and on the next day we get a fresh. That is a new Srishti. A new day has begun. Now we have the memories of what we'll do our activities in continuation. But when we are sleeping, where are we? Where is our mind? It is a completely different time. That is the Ratri. Now, when Shri Krishna says here, Ratring Yuga Sahasrantam, here the word Yuga refers to a Mahayug or Chaturyug in our terms. Now, we all know we are currently living in Kali Yuga. And there are 4 yugs. 4 in Sanskrit is Chaturdha. So Chaturyugi, we know it consists of 4 yug. Now, how is this calculation? Let us try to have a little insight into it. Now, Makar Sankranti is coming. We all know we are in the Uttarayan phase of the calendar. We have 2 phases. One, when the sun is more prominently present in the northern hemisphere, it is known as the Uttarayan. And when the sun is present in the southern hemisphere, it is known as a Dakshinayan. One cycle of Uttarayan and Dakshinayan together become 1 year of what? 1 year of a human being. Now, this 1 year of one period of Dakshinayan and one Uttarayan, this is God's 1 Ahoratra. 1 Ahoratra it is called. Now, what Shri Krishna says here is, our 1 complete year is God's 1 day, but the calculation is a little different from Brahmaji. What is the calculation? Now we know what is 1 year for us. We are currently in Kali Yuga. We'll do the calculation a little backwards. 1 Kali Yuga is believed to be approximately 4 lakh 32,000 years. That long time, 4,32,000. Before the Kali Yuga, the Yuga was Dwapar Yuga, and that was double the number of Kali Yuga. So it is 8,64,000 years is the Dwapar Yuga. And double the Dwapar Yuga is Treta Yuga. 17,28,000 years is the Treta Yuga. And double that, around some 34,56,000 years is the Satyug. The total calculation of Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, together, if you calculate, it comes to some 43,20,000 human years. Our one Dakshinayan, Uttarayan together, if we calculate it that way, so many 43,20,000 years will be our Chaturyuga. This is the calculation we know. This is one Chaturyuga. Now, 1,000 such Chaturyugas. So this 43,20,000, whatever number you multiply it by another 1,000. That is one day of Brahmaji. And 1,000 more such will be one night of Brahmaji. Now you keep calculating what will be the year. What will be the number of years, how much will be the calculation for 1 year. And 100 such years is the life of one Brahma. So imagine the vastness. Now, after this, now we all say this, universe has come from a big bang and all that. Big bang is the beginning of the Srishti, of the nature that we are seeing now. But what will be the, but this has happened earlier also. In the past also, Brahmaji, every time he's creating and recreating this world. So this is a continuous process. And that is what Shri Krishna is saying, that this is a continuous process. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu. Here he is telling that this is the night and day of the Brahmaji. Ratring Yuga Sahasrantam. Same thing. That night is also another thousands of years, 1,000 Sahasra Yuga. Same 1,000 Yuga again will be Ratri. And Teho Ratra Vidojataha. This is the calculation of day and night of Brahmaji. This is an important thing. And what we should understand from this, not only just the calculation, we have to think about it from our perspective. If we think about the earth itself, we are so minuscule. Earth is like a dust particle in this universe, and we are even more smaller than a dust particle on the surface of the earth. So imagine what is how insignificant we are size wise or otherwise. So whenever we develop any kind of ego, so Geeta ji helps us to reduce our ego by getting this kind of understanding. If we understand how insignificant we are, then there will be no point in I have done this, all achievements, everything that we do starts becoming so small in our life. So this is the calculation of the Brahmaji. And what Shri Krishna says here, Avyaktadvyaktayah sarva prabhavantyah ragame ratriagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta sanjake. What Shri Krishna is saying, from avyakta things, avyakta means when it is concealed. When there was nothing, there was nothing. Why? We cannot say that there was nothing. It was concealed. And then when it is vyakta, so when we are sleeping, our identity, everything is concealed. We also don't remember where we are, what we are doing. Everything is concealed. That is avyakta. And when everything is visible, whatever we are seeing is being, clearly visible. That is the manifested part. That is vyakta. Now, avyaktad vyaktaya sarva prabhavantyah ragame ratriagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta sanjake. Now everything gets created from the unmanifested. That is, it's not visible on Brahmaji's day. So that 1,000 Chaturyogi, what we were saying, when this day is starting, a new world is created. And when his light begins, everything is again destroyed. We also experience this Nitya Pralay. So whatever we have done, it is throughout the day we'll have very fresh memories of it, and when it is a night time, everything is concealed. All when we are sleeping, there is a complete absence of all the activities, and when we are awake, everything comes back to life. So daily we see this is the Nitya Pralay. Pralay is of also different types. Okay, so this the Pralay that we undergo is a Nitya Pralay. Now there are different types of Pralay. We'll not go into the details of it, but we have to understand that the Brahmaji's Pralay and Srishti comes into picture at the beginning of the day of Brahmaji. The Srishti will come into being, and when his tide begins, everything is being destroyed. And when Brahmaji's day begins, everything comes out from where? From Avyakta. That is, everything is unmanifested. And when Brahmaji's night becomes, everything is going to be dissolved back. For instance, you see in the rainy season, the insects are born in the rainy season. What is their life cycle? 2 to 3 hours. And 2 to 3 hours, the insect is there and it is gone. But for us, in the day, how many generations of the insect will be happening? One small example. Now, suppose you are traveling by flight or something. Now, we have these ladies' purses being checked. So much is there in that one bag. If we see, there is nothing. Now, I'm just scanning a purse and walking, and if somebody starts checking the bag, so much Srishti comes out of that bag. It has become Vyakta. It has come into, it has become visible to everybody. Now, when this person is checking, when the bag was being taken, something beeped and he said, okay, I want to see, this guard is saying, I want to see, I want to check. Why is this beeping? Some metal is there, we have to check. Now, when she starts opening, so many things will come, this entire Srishti will become Vyakta. And if people start imagining, how did so many things fit in this one bag? That is the big question they get. So it's our purses can hold so many things. Brahmaji's purse is even more bigger. Brahmaji has so many things we cannot even imagine. So when the Srishti comes into picture, everything will be coming out. And just as everything is concealed in our purses, after this, when you conceal everything, the night will come and everything will be concealed back. So the gross energy in the world is going to remain the same. That is what even current science says. And everything will be coming out, manifested and unmanifested. It will continue. So Swamiji says a very beautiful thing. So, like mosquitoes are being born, so many mosquitoes are continuously being born. For mosquitoes, we are like Brahmaji, because so many generations of mosquito will happen in 1 year and they'll feel, oh, this person is great. For we are Brahmaji for the mosquitoes. For us, Brahmaji is bigger Brahmaji. Brahmaji is will have his own some superior thing for whom he will say that, oh, that something is always existing, whether I am there or not. So this is how the cycle keeps going. And explaining this, Sri Krishna continues, Bhutagramasya evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate ratriagame vashah partha prabhavat Ragame Bhutagramasya evayam Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate. The Bhutagrama, what is the meaning of Bhutagrama? Bhutagrama is multitude of beings. The entire characters that we see around us, all the creatures in different yonis, in different species, every creation comes in this category of Bhutagrama. This is going to be born again and again. And Ratri Agame Vashah Partha, Ratri Agame Avasha. So it is not something that can be controlled. The word avasha is very important here. Like we all are sitting, we are all living creatures, we all are looking at each other, we are listening. At the moment, if somebody asks me, what am I doing? I'll say, I'm talking. You will say, you are listening. But there is a very something that we both are doing helplessly, and that is breathing, looking at each other. This is something we cannot help with. We are living creatures, and helplessly you say, by nature, you say we are going to be doing this, isn't it? Similarly, this dissolution and the process of creation is avashaha. It is a very natural thing. It is not that Sri Krishna or the Brahmaji is doing it deliberately. It is his leela. It is his nature to create and dissolve, to create and dissolve, and this is going to happen every time. So Ratri Agame avashaha, it will get dissolved. Praliyate. And Prabhavatyah Ragame Prabhavati Ahaha Agame. Ahaha means a day. The moment the day comes, everything will come into existence, means it will come into appearance. So this appearing and disappearing cycle will continuously be on. There is no end to it. From when this cycle is happening, when it has started, nobody knows. It is going on from eternity. Till when will this continue? It is going to be continuing beyond eternity. We don't know till when this is going to continue. For instance, now see, when we are small, we have all learned a cycle of water cycle, isn't it? The water is getting converted to water vapor, then it gets converted to clouds and the rain is forming. The water is continuously changing its form from ice to water to steam and so on and so forth. In the existence of all these states of water, can we deny the presence of water anywhere? Steam also has water, ice also has water. The water, obviously, in its liquid form, it also has water. In all the states, no matter how many states it is changing, one thing that is remaining constant is water. Similar to that, irrespective of the cycle of life and death, or irrespective of the cycle of manifestation and unmanifestation, in this cycle, there is one thing that is remaining unchanged throughout. There is one thing that remains unchanged, and that is what Sri Krishna is explaining about us about in the next shloka. What he says, Parastasmatu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha yasya sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu navinashyati. This is a very important thing. Tasmatu anyah bhava. There is another bhav, another thing, which is what? Beyond this manifested and unmanifested. It is another, it is beyond this manifestation and unmanifestation. It is completely eternal. What he says, avyaktaha avyaktat paraha. And how it is sanatanaha. Sanatanaha means which has existed forever. From eternity it has existed. And this is the tattva that we have to ultimately unite with. This is the one which is not going to be destroyed. And even in the Brahmaji's night, this does not get destroyed. We have to remember, it is present in everything where he has mentioned, Yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. It is present in everything. Everything around us is having this particular tattva. And it is present even in Brahmaji's night. It is not getting destroyed. It is not destroyed even when somebody is trying to destroy it. Similar as suppose, we have all seen ocean. How in the ocean the wave is appearing and disappearing. The wave is always going to be appearing and disappearing, but the water, it is going to remain. So if it is calm, we can say the wave is absent. But when the wave is present, the Srishti is created, the nature is created. We can say the wave has appeared. Imagine an ocean as this entire, Brahmanda, in that a wave is appearing. So the wave appearing is the creation of Srishti. The nature is being created. And when this wave is dissolved back into the ocean, it is dissolved back into water. What is happening? It is this dissolution has happened. Imagine that is the Ratri of Brahmaji, and it is dissolved. In this process throughout, the water remains the same. There is this avyakta tattva, that is the water that remains the same. So, for instance, if we say the gold gold ornaments when we are making. Suppose we make a necklace, and after a couple of years, now my daughter will not like that design because it becomes outdated, isn't it? So they want a new design, new fashion design. So the same gold, it can be melted and turned into a new design. In that, the tattva, the gold doesn't change. The gold remains the same. Its swarup, its character has just changed. Its appearance has changed. A similar thing is going to happen with the nature that Brahmaji has created. It is the same thing that is going to happen with the so many creations are happening based on the bhav, on that tattva that we are talking about. This is a very important thing. Now, see, this we have to understand that the presence of this bhav is extremely important. This particular thing is very important, and it is responsible for more creations. We have to also understand that though this is always going, this unmanifested power, this eternal power which is not visible but present in everything, this is responsible for more and more creations also. And those creations will ultimately get destroyed and dissolved. But this bhav, this avyakta bhav is responsible for more creations. How can it be responsible for more creations? How is the bhav responsible for creations? Let us see from a human perspective only. We all are human beings. We also have some emotions within us. Now, let us take example of Tilakji. When he was in jail, he obviously in jail he had lot of time, and he had written a beautiful book. Whatever rough pages he used to get, he had written a book called Geeta Rahasya. While he had written all that, and when he came out of the jail, some of the papers he was not given. Some papers were completely destroyed, and they were not in a readable form. When he came out, and he didn't have the entire literature with him, but he wanted to get it published, at that time, he didn't have everything that he had written. But he didn't get boggled with that. He said his emotions around that were there. He said, so what? I have only written it. Whatever intensity with which I have written, with whatever emotion I had written, I have that within me. Even now, I can create that even again. And he recreated the entire Grantha. And now we can read it as Geeta Rahasya. Similarly, all this, whatever he had, whatever literature that Veer Savarkarji had composed in jail, he had written it on the walls of the jail. Everything got washed off. But when he came out and all these books were published, because the bhav was within him. So ultimately, that bhav, that avyakta power, avyakta energy is responsible for what? For the creations. It forms the beej, it forms the seed of the new creation. And that is the same with the universe also. Now, what is this eternal tattva? What is this? Now we have to understand this bhav ultimately. So Shri Krishna has mentioned that there is something which is not changing. Even though the world around you is changing, there is something which is not changing. And what is that something which is not changing? He explains in the next shloka. Avyakto kshara ityuktas tamahu paramangatim yam prapya na nivartante tathama paramam mama. What he's saying, avyakta, avyakto kshara ityuktas. First, he's telling us the name of that thing, of that power which is not changing. It is called as akshara. Avyaktaha akshara iti uktaha. He's saying that tattva, it is not having it is not called by different names. It is avyakta. See, Ganesh ji, when we are, from what perspective we are looking at him, we call him by that name. If you are looking at his appearance, Ekadanta, because he takes care of all our Vignaharta, of all our obstacles in our life, we'll call him Vignaharta. Depending on what aspect you are remembering him about, you will call him by that name. Similarly, this Parabrahma Tattva, which is not changing, it can be called by many names. It is Avyakta Akshara. Avyakta means it is not going to be seen by us. Akshara, because Kshara means something that gets destroyed eventually. This is Akshara, it does not get destroyed. And what he mentions, that understanding this particular imperishable tattva is our ultimate motive. That is what should be our ultimate goal. Paramangatim tamaho paramangatim. That understanding that particular unmanifested power, that Parabrahma Akshara Tattva, is the ultimate goal of the human life. We have to understand this. And once this knowledge is attained, there is no going back. Yam prapya na nivartante. Once we have understood that this is what is Brahma Tattva, there is no going back. There is no, we will not get stuck in this cycle of life and death. And having reached this, there can be no return. See, once we all know, ghee gets converted to curd, curd is converted to butter, butter is getting ultimately converted to ghee. Once the milk has transformed into ghee, then there is no way it can convert back to milk. There is no need for it to convert back to milk, because now it has become so precious. If you consider the value of milk and ghee, who is more precious? The ghee is more precious. It is more valuable. It has attained its goal. Okay, there is no, and it has become what? Much more ghee. It can stay for a longer time, isn't it? There is no need to get converted back to milk. It is more perishable than the ghee tattva. So once we attain that highest state of knowledge, there is no, then we'll not get stuck in these worldly pleasures. Once the human being understands the bhav, we understand that Akshara Tattva present in us, then there is no need to return back to this body. We will attain our ultimate goal. See, and we'll attain that ultimate goal even if we have to come back. We'll be coming back for that particular purpose only. Like in the last session, we had seen that Shri Krishna, any Santa who has, united with Shri Krishna himself, will come back for just that one particular purpose, finish that job and go back. So we will be united with the Parabrahma Tattva, with the ultimate goal. Having a complete knowledge of it is going to free you from this vicious circle of life and death. So, and understanding all this, Tadhama Paramam Mama, that will be the Param Dham, that is the highest abode that we can think about, that we can attain. And Shri Krishna explains more about this Param Dham. Purushassa parah partha bhaktya labhyaspananyaya yasyantasthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. Purushassa parah partha. Now here the Purush Tattva that we are talking about is the ultimate Parabrahma Purush. It is the highest Paraha. Paraha means the highest. It is the highest supreme. Sa Purushaha Ananya Bhaktya Labhya. How does one attain this? Now Shri Krishna has told that it is known as Akshar. Once you understand that, you are going to not return back to this universe. Or having understood all that, we want to know how that can be attained, isn't it? By learning Bhagavad-Gītā, by doing all karma kand. How is it that we are going to attain it? That is an important thing. And Shri Krishna tells in a very, very beautiful manner. He says by Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti is Ananya Bhakti. By unswearing devotion towards God, you can attain this ultimate Parabrahma Tattva. Now, what is Ananya Bhakti? This is a very important thing. What is Ananya Bhakti? Once a disciple went to his guru and said that I want to understand what is Ananya Bhakti. he says, okay, but let me tell you, after a few days. Now this disciple was also very sincere. He said, okay, I'll come. Every day he came, try to, bhakti. I understand what is bhakti. I understand that, bhakti is, our craving for God. So I love God so much, but and you say that there is something beyond this also. So I want to understand Ananya Bhakti. Every day this disciple went to his guru and said, I want to understand this. Now this guru was also very smart. He said, tomorrow when I go for bath on the river, you come there. And there I'll explain you what is Ananya Bhakti. The disciple was very happy. He went the next day when this Guruji went to take bath. He also went with him. And they both got into this river. Now, when they were in this river, what this Guru did, he pushed this disciple's head in the water, pushed it very hard such that he could not come out on his own. He kept pushing it. And for some time now, because my Guru is doing, he said, it's okay. He held his breath for quite some time, but later it became very difficult for him to breathe. And he started, nodding, asking him for, the signal, leave me, please, I want to come up. And that is when the Guru left him and he came up. He said, when you were inside this water, what was it you wanted the most? He said, I wanted to breathe. I wanted air. I needed air. He said, this is what the only thing that you wanted when you were inside. You didn't want to know what is Ananya Bhakti. You didn't want food. You didn't want any other jnana. The only thing you wanted at that point of time was air to breathe. Similarly, when a sadhak goes in this state, that the only thing that he wants is the God, then that feeling will be Ananya Bhakti. When with that desperation, with the desperation with which you wanted air just for your survival, with that desperation when a sadhak, when a devotee seeks God, that is Ananya Bhakti. So when you want God with that devotion, with that desperation, that is when you have Ananya Bhakti. If we want to achieve God, if we want to achieve this Purush, understanding of this Purush, we'll have to follow this Ananya Bhakti. This is what is Ananya Bhakti. And he says, Yasyantasthani bhutani yena sarvamidantatam. And how is this thing? This is one of the means to achieve it. To achieve this particular dham, param dham, Ananya Bhakti is the only way. And how is this Bhakti? How is this param tattva? It is the tattva which is dwelling within everyone. It is dwelling within each one of us, and it is also holding everything together. Like we know the earth is moving, the moon is moving around the earth is moving around the sun. They say sun is also revolving in a particular way in this Milky Way. Everything, this very basic understanding we all have. Now, this basic understanding we all have, that is fine, but who is it that is holding all this? We say it is gravitational force and different names we will give. But that is just a very small scientific understanding that we are having. There is a supreme power which is holding everything together. And that is the Parabrahma Tattva. To get that understanding of Parabrahma Tattva, first we have to have a very severe urge to understand the Param Tattva. And with that understanding, we can understand this Param Tattva which is within each one of us and also which is holding all of us together. That is what Shri Krishna has said. Now further he says, Yatra Kali Dvanavrittim Avrittim Chaiva Yoginaham Prayata Yanti Tankalam Vakshyami Bharatarshabham. Shri Krishna mentions about, now here this everything is in context of what, of the question that Arjun had asked about the end moment, how to remember you. Everything is revolving around that only. Now what he is saying is, he has already told that everything is going to be destroyed. So when you are talking about the Antakal moment, about the last moment, there are some temporary last moments, this birth and that birth, and what is, he has told the entire life cycle, the life cycle of this entire universe, the life cycle of every human being, what is the purpose of this human life. After telling him everything, he says the way we start our journey towards this ultimate abode is of two types. There are two ways in which a sadhak, a seeker, will have his journey in after the death. There are two paths in which a Jivatma will exit from the body. One path is such by which they will unite with the Brahma, never to return back. And the second path is the one on which they will go and they will have to return back. Now here both the paths are descriptions of righteous persons only, sadhaks only, seekers. Somebody who is a great jnani, don't get misunderstood. Don't think that this is going to be about a jnani purush. Somebody who is a very knowledgeable person, he will not have the binding of these two paths. Similarly, somebody who is a adhama, who is a papi, who is who's done so much bad deeds that he has a different, for him the Yamdut will only come with his own set of army. But for the seekers, there are two paths. We have to understand that there are two paths. Every seeker has seeker means a sadhak who is in between these two, who is not a completely jnani like Jnaneshwar Maharaj or some sant, or they are not somebody who have done bad deeds also. For some, the paths are very obvious. For the knowledgeable ones, the path of unison with the God is very obvious, and the ones for adhami, the ones who have lived a sinful life, for them also the path is very obvious. We are not talking about these two categories. We are talking about the seeker category, where there are two types of path. One is slightly higher than the other. Here, the description is not for the non-sadhaks. Okay, this we have already seen. Now, what Shri Krishna says, now I'll advise you, Vakshami. What I'm Vakshami? Two paths. Which are the two paths? The time when the yogis leave their body, one, never to return, and the another path is when they will return. Which are the two paths? Shri Krishna explains them in the next shloka. Agnir Jyotiraha Shukla Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Vidho Janaha. The first is the Shukla path, the one which is the brighter path. Agnir Jyoti Raha Shukla. So when the body is left behind, it is considered this is the better path if a seeker's body is leaving during Uttarayan period. What is the speciality of the Uttarayan period? There is brightness. There is Jyoti. Shukla Paksha. Now we also should know what is Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. Most of you already know. The time from the full moon till the no moon. When it is the waning phase of the moon, it is the Krishna Paksha. Waxing phase from the Amavasya till the Purnima, that is from the no moon till the full moon. It is the waxing phase of the moon, that is the Shukla Paksha. So in the waxing phase is the Shukla Paksha. This Shukla Paksha and or day. What are the four things when there is enough light? Jyoti. Means the daytime. Then Shukla Paksha. Shadmasa, the 6-month time of the Uttarayan, where it is the northern course of the sun. In this time, if a Jivatma leaves the body, then what happens? He will attain the higher lok. Brahma Vidho Janaha. He will, if he leaves the body at that time, he will attain what? The higher worlds. And then he explains the lower type of a path, which is Dhumuratris Tatha Krishna Shanmasa Dakshinayanam. Tatra chandrama sanjyotir yogi prapya nivartate. When he's saying dhuma, when there is smoke, when there is night, when it is a Krishna Paksha, that is the waning phase of the moon. And it is the Dakshinayam, when it is the southern course of the sun. When the sun is in the Dakshinayam, we are thinking from the Bharat Varsha. So what is the thing? It is cooler weather here. The days are shorter. All these are the typical characteristics of Dakshinayam. So during this time, or the time of night, when the lunar power is more prominent, at that time, if yogi attains his last moment, then he will end up coming back to this world. This is what is said. Now, if you look at these two shlokas from one more perspective, this is one thing. As per scriptures, we'll attain the Brahma Lok, or we'll come back to this material world. That is another thing. But at the same time, we also have to understand that what does the Shukla time or Uttarayan signify from a seeker's perspective? What does it signify? It signifies enlightenment. So if a person is leaving the body in an enlightened state, what is that enlightened state? When he knows where he has to go. When he knows, he's thinking about God, automatically God will take care of, bringing him to the Brahma Lok. And if a person who's, doing the sadhana with some materialistic desire in hand, or with some malignity in the mind, the chitta is not very clean at that particular time, then what will happen? Then he will attain, he will have to return back to this world, because again, this world is the only place where we can attain Chitta Shuddhi, where we can attain this, where we can walk on this path of attaining the Brahma Jnana. So, if you look at it from that perspective, so any sadhak should not worry much about the last moment. At the moment, from our perspective, see, it is important to understand the shloka, but we should also understand what we have to take away from here. That we have to attain which state? We have to attain an enlightened state. Now, if we spend our rest of the life thinking when we will die, whether we will die in Uttarayan or not, that is going to be stress for us. What we have to understand, that when we attain the last moment, our life should be lived in such a way that we leave this world in an enlightened way, in an enlightened state. Let's keep that as an objective of our life. And what Sri Krishna explains in context to that further is Shukla Krishna Gati Yete Jagatah Shashvate Mate Ekaya Yatyana Vrittim Anyaya Vartate Punaha. See, both the paths. The first path that we saw first, it is known as the Shukla path. Shukla Marga, it is also known as the Devayan. And the second marga, the second path that was described, it is known as the Krishna Marga. It is also called as the Pitruyan. So the Devyan is going to take us where? It is going to take us to the Brahma Lok. It is going to liberate you from this world. And the second one, it is the Pitruyan. It is going to take you back to the to this materialistic world. Okay, so now when we are saying this, for people who are on the Shukla Marg or on the Devyan Marg, they are enlightened. Means what? They will go to Brahma Lok. Why they will go to Brahma Lok? There is also a very important thing. They are in an enlightened state. They do not have any desires left. Because they know where they have to go. They have to attain the Brahma Lok. They will be in an enlightened state. And the ones who are going in the Krishna Marga, that is in the Pitruyan, they are still stuck in this materialistic world. They'll still there is something that is holding them back in this world, that is going to keep them back. Now we have also in Mahabharata seen the story of Bhishma Pitama. We all know that he was on the bed of arrows. It must have been so painful, isn't it? But he had a boon of what? Ichha Mrityu. So he could have easily left, desire. Once the Pandavas won, when he knew where the war is going, he could have easily left the pain and left for his journey ahead. Now, Bhishma Pitamaha was a great person. There was no doubt about him not attaining the moksha. But he waited for Uttarayan. There are two basic reasons for why he chose. One is teaching the world the power of following father's promises. Doing the pitru seva. First thing he had to prove is that by attaining pitru seva, what we can get, he has got the ichha mrityu vardhan. So he has shown the power of that, and he has also shown the power of brahmacharya, that by following this life of a brahmachari, how much powerful a person can become. How powerful a person can become so as to sustain all those pains. He was a prince, he was a king, not a king in a real form, but he has had such a beautiful life. But irrespective of all that, this pain did not matter to him. So he has proved the power of brahmacharya there. So he has shown the fruitfulness of living what? A life of a brahmachari. And he has also shown the power of the significance. He wants to prove the significance of the Vedas, what our scriptures are told. Our scriptures say that going in Uttarayan is more pious than other things. So to prove it to the world that this is what one should strive for. This is the Sanyam, this is the patience one should have. And like bearing all those pains also, I will, wait for the Uttarayan. So he has made clear the importance of our scriptures to the people. He could have easily left. So these are the different points that he wanted to prove from his life. These are the lessons he wanted to give for us. And he waited for the Uttarayan to come and then have that path of then that is the moment he chose to leave the world. That is the importance of the last moment. So at any point of the last moment is important, but how nicely, how graceful that last moment is going to be is going to depend on how you have spent the entire life. No matter what you have done, how you have spent the entire life is going to determine that last moment. And that we see from the life of Bhishma, Pitamaha Bhishma, that because he has lived a life of a brahmachari, he could wait till the Uttarayan. Because he has lived the life as per the dharma, he has been able to attain that gracious moment of leaving the world at an appropriate time. And the same thing Sri Krishna asserts in the next shloka. Naite srati parth janan yogi mahyate kaschana tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhavarjana. The most important fact he is again reiterating here. Na ete sriti parth janan, having known these two, everything, having known these paths also, the real yogi. No matter, now a yogi is somebody who is in constant connection with the God. A yogi, now we'll start bothering, when will my end time be, will I go in Uttarayan or Dakshinayan? But a yogi will not get delusioned by these paths. He will not worry about all these paths. He will not think about, all these things. He will not get boggled by all that. They will go and come without worrying about coming back to world. Tukaram Maharaj or everybody else, all these Santa we have seen, they will not worry about all this. Even if I have to come, for them this world only is delusional. I will come, I'll do my bhakti, I'll go back. I'll come, do my bhakti and go back. For them, they will not get boggled by all this. This is what Shri Krishna is telling here, that na ete sriti parthajanan yogi muhyati kaschana. The yogi will not get deluded by. Mohyati means deluded. He will not fall prey to all these things. All this is for us. This is very important. But a yogi will not fall prey to all this. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. So that is why, if you also, now I have told you these two paths, but if you don't want to get stuck in the delusion of these two paths, what we have to do? We have to do what Shri Krishna has told Arjun to do. Yoga yukto bhava Arjuna. Be steadfast in yoga. Do not leave yoga. Now by yoga, we don't mean the Surya Namaskar, only the physical yoga. No, that is a part of yoga. But what is the actual meaning of yoga? Is to always keep the God in mind. See, even in the 6th chapter, what Shri Krishna has told Arjuna, Tasmad yogi bhava Arjuna. What is Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is a complete yoga shastra. Shastra means science. And Shastra is something that will teach you how to achieve something. What is science? It is going to teach you how to achieve certain things, isn't it? So similarly, Bhagavad Gita is a yoga shastra. Bhagavad Gita is a science which is going to teach you how to be constantly in touch with God. Jnana yoga, karma yoga, ashtanga yoga, everything you follow, every yoga you follow in Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā, everything is rooted where? Everything is rooted in bhakti. The jnana yoga, that is also jnanadhishthit bhakti. Bhakti is also embedded in knowledge. So whole hand of Shri Krishna, or just see, there are two things. Now, if a mother and a child are walking together, so what we'll do, the child is holding the mother's hand, Now, recently we had a Shobha Yatra in our community, and you see the small children trying to hold the fingers of their mothers. But what will be a best way when they are in the big crowd? What they will say, I will not, you hold my hand, mother. So what will happen? When the mother holds the hand of a child, the grip is firmer. When the mother is taking care of you, when mother is holding your hand and taking you through everything, the grip is much more firmer. Then you know you will not get lost. Yoga is like that. When we are continuously thinking about God, see, when you visit just the normal bhakti that if you do, maybe we all say we are doing devotion, we are doing bhakti, we are singing bhajans, everything we are doing, we are remembering God, we are remembering it. But when we are doing tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmarayatyacha, when we are continuously thinking of the God, when we are continuously in touch with God, and we are doing a yoga of that form, what will happen? The God himself is holding us. Then there is nothing to worry about, isn't it? So let us all hold the hand of Shri Krishna. That is one thing. But we just give our hands to Shri Krishna himself. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Walking ahead, we are going to be just thinking about this, that we are going to be yogis. What do you mean by being yogis? Not somebody who is just meditating. It is also meditating. All these are a part of it, but we should always be remembering God. Now, in this, there is one small principle also. When people say that, we are trying to remember God. Now, there is this, we have to do jap, we have to do dhyan, everything. While doing all your actions also, always try to remember the God. Now here, when we say Shri Krishna, many people understand this as, always only me, only Shri Krishna. It's not like that. Whichever deity you have your faith in, you can remember. Everything is ultimately only going to merge with Shri Krishna himself. So if your bhakti is on Shivji, you do the bhakti of Shivji. It means the deity of your choice, wherever your faith is, your whatever deity is, we know, Ganpati, Bappa, some people are Shiv Bhakts. Do your own devotion. It is all going to merge into Shri Krishna himself. And in the end, describing the merits of being a yogi, what are the merits of being a yogi, Shri Krishna summarizes in a very beautiful shlok. Vedeshu yagnishu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानमुपैति चाद्यम्. Now we all are learning scriptures. Many people are doing yajna, tap, so many different types of bhakti marg, different things we all are following. Dan, charity we are doing. So many good deeds are there that can be done. And whatever are the fruits that a person reaps from doing all these good deeds, by doing all these rituals, by doing all these religious activities, by following all these actions prescribed by our scriptures, whatever is that, whatever we are going to attain from that, achieve out of it, that is all much lesser than what we can achieve by being a yogi. By being a yogi, it is so whatever we attain by being a yogi is much more beyond this. The merit that we attain by being a yogi is much more greater than what we will achieve from the other rituals. So this also gives rise to one more question. Should we stop doing all other activities? Absolutely no, because being a yogi cannot be the first step. Unless a person starts doing some good deeds, he cannot be a yogi. Yogi is going to be a firm destination. So when a child is born and he says, I want to become a doctor tomorrow in first grade, he cannot be a doctor, isn't it? He has to complete his schooling. He has to do his 12th grade, then and then also have a final entrance exam, and then that admission into medical and so on and so forth. So that is a long journey. But we have to set ourselves on the journey by doing all these things, by doing all these study of scriptures, doing yajna, tap, everything, by doing all these scripture study, we have to set ourselves on the path. And what should be our ultimate destination? Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. That is our ultimate destination. That is where we have to become a yogi. And what is a yogi? Yogi is somebody who will not need any means to remember Shri Krishna. We don't need, the yogi will not need any means to remember Shri Krishna. No, doesn't need to be, reminded of doing puja, doesn't need to be, no matter what he's doing, he is always reminded, he is always having God in his memory. That is a yogi. That is the beauty of this entire chapter. That is the main crux of this entire chapter. And based on that, not only can we have a very beautiful, graceful life, we can also set ourselves on a very beautiful journey. We can prepare ourselves beautifully for the journey after this life also. So it's a very beautiful chapter, and on an Ekadashi, we are all completing this chapter. That in itself is a beautiful coincidence. On that note, we'll just sing the Pushpika ones. Om Tat Sadite Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyāyā Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnājana Samvade Akshara Brahma Yogo Namashtamo Dhyāyā. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. With this, I offer the entire discourse at the feet of Param Puja Swamiji and Shri Krishna himself. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you everybody for the patient listening. For a change, I could manage to complete it on time.
Thank you so much, Didi, for explaining the shlokas so well in depth, and we all could understand it really well. And your voice is extremely sweet, Didi. After having understood the chapter from our dear Shraddha Didi, we will now move on to the question answer session. And those of you who wish to ask questions, please raise your hand and turn on your videos. You will be allowed to ask your question one by one.
Prabhuji. Yeah, Jai. जय श्री कृष्णा।
नमस्ते। नमस्ते जी। मेरे विचार थोड़े से इस मामले में अलग थे। मैंने कई स्पिरिचुअल लिटरेचर में ये घी वाली एग्जाम्पल पढ़ी है, लेकिन मैं ये भी देखता हूँ कि जितने भी फैट्स होते हैं, घी है, ये सब में मॉलिक्यूलर चेंजेस होते रहते हैं और कुछ दिनों बाद इनके अंदर रेंसिडिटी आ जाती है। गोल्ड की एग्जाम्पल तो बिल्कुल सही लगती है मुझे। ये स्पिरिचुअल लिटरेचर में मैंने पढ़ा था, तो मैंने सोचा आप से मैं बता दूं कि मुझे यहाँ लगता है, क्योंकि घी हमेशा एक साथ नहीं रह पाता। दूसरी चीज मैं अब, हाँ,
आप बोलिए।
दूसरी चीज, हाँ, दूसरी चीज ये पूछ रही थी कि आप L3 भी लेती हैं या सिर्फ L4 लेती हैं?
मुझे जो भी बोला जाता है मैं वो ले लेती हूँ। मेरे
तो
लिए तो L1 से लेके L4 सारे ही अध्याय उतने ही प्रेशियस है, तो
नहीं
मैं
तो
सारे ही जहाँ जहाँ
अभी तो
आवश्यकता है मैं
मैं 8 तारीख से L1 वापस रिज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ। L2
बिल्कुल
में आने के
बिल्कुल
पहले फिर मैं आपसे टाइमिंग पूछूंगा। आई वुड लाइक टू ज्वाइन रिज्वाइन यू।
ऐसा। So we'll see all trainers are the same, all teachers are teaching with a lot of dedication. आप कोई भी कक्षा में जुड़िए, गीता जी क्या पढ़ रहे हैं ये ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है, कौन पढ़ा रहा है इससे ज्यादा क्या पढ़ रहे हैं ये ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण होता है। ऑलवेज टेल माय स्टूडेंट्स that what you are learning is more important compared to from whom you are learning. So please rejoin after your level 4 is completed, and I'm always there to guide you with whatever you need. And
ओके,
regarding your first question about the ghee, so Bhaiya, see, all these examples that we are telling, ये सब प्रतीक स्वरूप है. They are all very symbolic. You don't have to take them literally. They are all symbolic of everything. So, for instance, now it cannot, nothing can explain the Brahma Tattva in totality. We have to understand that this all is symbolic. It is only to get a very basic idea. So if I have to tell somebody what is a tree, the best thing is I go and show them what is a tree. But if I'm sitting in a classroom of a pre-primary, I cannot bring the tree in the class and show. I will draw it on the board for them, isn't it? It is symbolic representation. Similarly, when all these examples are given, these are very symbolic, so that your intellect starts thinking on these lines. There cannot be a complete description of it. For that, lot of study will be required. But to understand at a primary level, we have to start with some basis. These are thinking aids. So using these thinking aids, we have to develop our thinking to understand the Brahma. That is why these examples are given. They cannot be in totality.
थैंक यू
Okay, bhai.
श्रद्धा जी।
जी, thank you, भैया. And I'll always be in touch with you. जी, जय श्री कृष्ण धीरज जी, प्रणाम.
Pranam Jai Shri Krishna Didi. Thank you so much for such a wonderful explanation. You said, Didi, that you can worship any of the deities in which you have faith, actually, चाहे शंकर भगवान, चाहे जैसे भी. तो 9वें अध्याय में भगवान कहते हैं कि जो देवों की पूजा करते हैं वो देवलोक में जाते हैं, जो मेरी पूजा, वो स्वर्ग में जाते हैं, जो मेरी पूजा करता है वो मेरे धाम में आते हैं. और एक और चीज उन्होंने बोली, मेरे को श्लोक एग्जैक्टली याद नहीं है. वो कहते हैं अगर आप देवों की पूजा करते हैं तो वो अविद्या ढंग से होती है, और वो भी मेरी पूजा होती है, बट वो अविद्या ढंग से होती है. इस पे थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेनेशन दे दिए चाहूंगा आपसे.
हाँ, सी, देखिए कैसा होता है अभी, इसके लिए ना, हम अब क्या चाहते हैं उस पे है. सी, व्हेन वी आर सेइंग अबाउट ऑल दीज, अब हम लोग जहाँ पे भी भक्ति है, अगर मेरी भक्ति शिव जी में है, and if I have faith in Shivji and I'm forced to do bhakti of Krishna ji, that bhakti will remain incomplete. Ultimately all of them are converging into one point, that is Parabrahma Tattva. All of them are converging into this one Parabrahma Tattva. Now it is, how Swamiji explains this. He says when we are, our bhakti, where our devotion will be, is also dependent on how our previous sanskars have been, how we have been born and brought up, etc. And all these things are responsible for how our faith gradually develops. Now, all these departments, all these gods, they are different departments of one government. So like we have Indian government, and if I have one particular issue, I will go to, suppose, postal department or any other department. If I'm staying abroad and I want to talk to my own government, I will not directly dial to the Prime Minister's office, right? I'll talk to the embassy. Similarly, so the Dev Lok that you are seeing, all the Indra Bhagwan, all these are the different departments of the same government. Okay, so depending on that. Now, for some people, that is more important. Some people, no matter how much tattva jnana we give them, they will be stuck with this, that I want to attain a lot of money. I don't care if all other gods, but Lakshmi ji should be very happy with me. I should get the money. So depending on how their faith is, they will be appropriate God they will have faith in. Okay, and everything ultimately, but there are some who will go beyond this and love their God so much that they will not want anything in return from the God. And when you reach at that stage, automatically you go beyond the love for this particular deity. Uske beyond jab aap chale jate ho, it will converge into the bhakti for Shri Krishna. It will converge into the bhakti for Parabrahma Tattva. Okay, that I want to unite with the Parabrahma Tattva. But we all, with our limited intellect, we cannot think about the Parabrahma Tattva. That is why we need some figure to, concentrate on. So we need the figure, we need a shivling in front of us to concentrate upon. Sometimes the structure of shivling only appeals me so much that I cannot do any other type of puja. In that case, the tattva in him, if my devotion goes beyond the materialistic desires and it converges so much into him, it will ultimately converge into what? The Brahma Tattva. All the rivers are again converging into the final ocean only, into the final sea. So all the bhakti, when it is converging in a very in a way such that we don't want anything from in return, then it will all converge into the Parabrahma Tattva.
But who is the Supreme Lord? Supreme Lord is Krishna.
Supreme Lord is Shri Krishna. Okay, so now
Because
Shri
in
Krishna
Brahma Samhita also,
Shri
Brahma
Krishna
Samhita
also,
also
Shri
says.
Krishna is also not just Shri Krishna. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Shri Bhagavan hai wo who has taken the form of Shri Krishna. Are you getting it? When we are saying he ultimately, if you now how you look at it, it depends. We cannot imagine the form. We cannot imagine the Akshara form, Vishwarupa form. All these are beyond our imagination. For our own benefit, he has taken the form of Shri Krishna. The entire Parabrahma Swarup has taken the form of Shri Krishna for us, and that is the form we are, trying to worship. So when you say, don't say this Shri Krishna as in some one human being, Shri Krishna. He has come in that form because that is the form we will understand better. Because it is for our intellect that he is in that form. So don't just restrict it. When I say Shri Krishna, then it doesn't mean that Shri Ramji is anything less or Shivji is anything less. They all are in some or the other way forms of the Parabrahma Swarup only. But we cannot understand the Parabrahma Swarup, right? So for us, it is the Shri Krishna form. Okay, when I say, when we all say we all love mothers, we all imagine a different mother because our mothers are different, isn't it? So our imagination is restricted to what is the image of my mother is restricted to my mother only. I cannot see any other lady as my mother because my image is different of that. My understanding is going to be different of that. So for everybody, that understanding is different. But ultimately, the bhav that we all are cherishing is the motherly love only. So ultimately, in the Krishna Swarup also, the emotion that we all are cherishing is the devotion towards the Parabrahma Tattva only. But now it is taken a form of Shri Krishna. So I do it in the form of Shri Krishna. So that humanly form of Shri Krishna, if you say, then we are restricting our own understanding. But for the understanding of this purpose of the scriptures, I will go by your saying that yes,
Because
Sri Krishna is the Purna Avatar. He is a
Param,
Purna Avatar. So definitely he has everything.
because in Brahm Samhita also Brahmaji did the stuti that Ishwa Param Krishna Sachidanand Vikraya Anadi Adi
Yes,
Govinda
absolutely. Because
Sarv
yes,
Karna
he has
Karanam.
come, the entire tattva only has come in that form, in that Parabrahma tattva.
And also in the Virat
Krishna.
group also, the Virat group
Yes,
also, the God showed all the deities in him only.
yes,
So,
yes. Shri Krishna
so,
Swarup is the ultimate. It is the ultimate form.
so if somebody worships Shiva also, Lord Shiva also, and Krishna also, that according to you is perfectly all right?
Yes, absolutely. It is not according to me. I am nobody to say. That is what Swamiji has told me, that it is perfectly all right. So I will say it is perfectly all right. Whatever I say here is from my limited understanding of what I have got from him. So him and Ashubhaiya, Vardekar Kakaji, Kakiji, everybody. So yes, so definitely it is okay. And ultimately, that faith is, as I told you, it will be depending on the samskars that we have had so far. On, see, if I've seen my parents doing Shiv Puja, I will naturally be inclined to Shiv Puja. And at that time, if somebody tells me that don't do bhakti of Shri, do bhakti only of Shri Krishna, I will not be liking it. But I have to understand one thing, that they all converge at one point. That so whether I do the bhakti of Shivji or I do the bhakti of Krishnaji, the destination where I'm going to reach is going to be the same.
The destination will be the same, huh? Now,
Yes.
if I just a bit continue more on that, if, for example, the Ravana worshipped Shivji Bhagwan, and ultimately, if you see Ramayana, Lord Ram killed the Ravan. So, my understanding that if you have the material desires, then obviously that you can go to different
Was
deities. But
Ram
if you have
killed?
no material
Was
desire,
Ravan killed only because of his materialistic desires, or was it a personal revenge? No, he was a adharmi. He has not only troubled Ramji with by abducting Sita. He has troubled all the three worlds. He has been responsible for killing so many sages. Ramji has not taken this as a personal revenge, because he was a demon meant to be killed. He has, if you go, you have to read the Valmiki Ramayana in depth to understand who was Ravan and why he deserved to be ended the way he ended. So he has, and he was not a bhakta. What he has got, he has done worship of Shivji to get something in return from him. His worship was not to get the ultimate jnana and moksha. No, he wanted to become a superior, the superpower of this world. He wanted to, rule the entire. He has not only troubled the people living on the earth, he has made all gods also his slaves. He has wanted that power. He has attained all the superpowers so that he can enslave the god also. Is that bhakti? No, it is completely materialistic thing. That is siddhi. What he has achieved is siddhi, and he has not achieved bhakti. We have to understand the difference between two. Siddhi is something which will help you attain the materialistic desires, and bhakti is something which will help you attain the liberation. He has not done bhakti. He has appeased Shivji to get the siddhis. That we have to understand. Okay, that is not bhakti. So before we jump to any conclusion like that, we have to understand what is the difference between bhakti and sadhana. What he has done, what was his ultimate motive, that we have to first understand. Okay, there are too many hand raises today, so
thank you
you
so
can
much. Thank you
template
so much.
it.
Jai Shri Krishna.
And
Thank you so much for your beautiful explanation. Thank you.
thank you, Bhaiya. Jai Shri Krishna. Ji Komal Didi, please unmute.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
First of all, your explanation made it very clear that the two marg which are there, the Shukla marg and the Krishna marg, they are not to be worried about. In fact, that will help us to lead our remaining life properly, so that we can get liberation. And one question which I wanted to ask is that we say that everyone comes with their sanskars and the karmas. So how are they transferred from one, the soul will depart. So how are they transferred, these things, from one life to another?
How the sanskar is transferred from one life to
Mm.
another. See,
Yeah.
because whatever Atma is taking a form of in a new this thing. Now there are certain things which, because what happens is when Atma is entering a this body,
Body.
and what we say that it has completely forgotten its own memory that what I am, and he starts believing that I am the body. Now, when he started believing that I am the body, all memories are not only imprinted till an outer level, they will get imprinted on the Atma itself. And even when the person is changing the form, when changing the body, that will remain with him. That bhav will remain with him. So that when he's done the Punarjanma, we have seen so many cases. Even now we see that when somebody is reborn, they have the memories because it was a very strong memory that has had a very strong impact. So it will get carried over like that from the Atma when something has gone that deep, and when the Atma has absolutely no memory of what it is. Now, if I say, if we start forgiving everything and we don't take things very hardly to ourselves, it will not affect to deep within. And then the memory will remain at the bodily level. When the body leaves, when the body is left behind, the memory will go. But if it has reached till deep within, so much so that it has reached your soul, then it is going to get carried over to the next birth also. So good things will also get carried over, and unwanted things will also get carried over. Okay, so let us carry the good things out.
And we have to take care that they will not be indelible. They should be erased off completely.
Yes, absolutely. जी.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
जय श्री कृष्ण जी. ज्योति दीदी, प्लीज unmute. जय श्री कृष्ण ज्योति दीदी. प्रणाम.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi.
जय श्री कृष्ण.
Didi, can I ask in Telugu, Didi?
Telugu?
Telugu.
Yes, Telugu. Okay, try. I understand very kuncham. Let's see.
ఓకే. హనుమాన్ చాలీసా పారాయణ చేస్తున్నాం కదా దీది. అది ఎప్పటి వరకు చేయాలి? 22 ప్రతిష్ట కదా, రామ ప్రతిష్ట కదా. అది ఎప్పటి వరకు చేయాలి పారాయణ?
So you want to do the parayana, you said?
I am doing दीदी. 4000 से अधिक ज्यादा हुआ पारायण. कब तक करना है पारायण?
ये हमेशा ही करना है. You have to keep doing this eternally. But now whatever you have done, have you done it? You said you did it in the Ram Pratishtha app, right?
Yes.
So what is going to happen? I'll tell you now. Till 22nd Jan, all this is going to be collected and it will be offered at the so that process is along that will be done. But the Ram Pratishtha app, for our benefit, it is going to continue. So we should always continue doing this parayan. So even after this is done, after this also. Now, if you want, you can reduce the frequency if you want, but continue doing this even after the Ram Pratishtha, because what we get from Hanuman Chalisa, we need that throughout our lives, isn't it? Throughout the entire life, we will need it. So,
otherwise, we can leave 22nd, Didi. We can leave 22nd.
Till 22nd, whatever you do till 22nd, it is going to be offered to Ram Lala. Yeah, and rest after that, don't leave. No, why you want to leave? So much nicely we are doing. What such a bliss it is to do Hanuman Chalisa. I am experiencing it is beautiful, but yes, till that you have to do. Okay, then you reduce the frequency.
अब तक तो ऐप में समर्पित करते हैं, अंत में कहीं और समर्पित करना पड़ेगा या ऐसा ही बराबर?
इसमें ही रखे. We'll continue in this only.
Only
okay.
app only.
And what you can done with that, thoda wo notice Ashu Bhaiya and everybody will give us later. Okay. So वो आएगा हम लोग को समझेगा धीरे धीरे. Okay. But
Thank you.
the Ram Pratishtha app is going to continue for a long after the Pran Pratishtha also. That confirmation I got from Bhaiya yesterday that the app is going to be there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna, Bhima Didi. Please unmute.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi, and thank you so much for such a beautiful Vivechan. Didi, two doubts. One is regarding that, there are two extremes which Lord has said here. One is Uttarayan and Shukla Paksha. And to attain, that is, to attain the Brahma abode. That is the first condition applied, which is think about God. Then only, that is, completely think and merge in God, then only you'll reach there. That is the understanding, that's correct. And as far as the first part is concerned.
Can you please repeat?
Yeah, so what I was saying is the first part is where he talks about in Uttarayan, if the person leaves the soul leaves the body in Uttarayan and in Shukla Paksha, and of course thinking about Param Brahma, then reaches the Brahma abode. Brahma abode means actually the ultimate destiny.
Param, even in the 15, yes. Parabrahma, Param, even in the 15th chapter, we have heard about that. No, the same Param Dham, which is a place which cannot be lighted by sun or moon. That description we have seen in the 15th chapter,
Yeah, so
also
the
in
same,
the 13th chapter.
Same, that is the same.
Yes, it is the same. Yes, that is the
And
same.
then in the next shloka, he talks about where it is smoky, and it's also in the Dakshinayan and Krishna Paksha. So these are two extreme things. What about where it's in between? That also, that is in the sense, Krishna Paksha in Uttarayan, or
it will either be Krishna Paksha or it will be Shukla Paksha, isn't it? It is either going to be Uttarayan or Dakshinayan. It cannot be anything in middle. At the most, it will be Amavasya or Purnima. But that will also fall in one of the categories of.
No, I'm saying about the combination of Uttarayan and Krishna Paksha, because you will have Krishna Paksha and Uttarayan also.
Acha, okay, that way you're saying.
That way,
okay, that way. See, ultimately, where it will go, it will then there will be more sukshma nirikshan of that. What was the thought which he had in the last moment? Okay, antakale cha mameva. Then beyond around that, even and based on that, also what has he achieved throughout the life? So there are a lot of details that will come into picture. So it is not that just this particular part. And even when we talk about the lok, there is not just Brahma lok and Patal lok. In between, there are many worlds. Sarga lok, Dev lok, Patal lok, Mrityu lok. These are the only ones that we know. But there are many more loks. And some are intermediate, some are, much more superior than Swarga lok, some are lesser superior than Swarga lok. So depending on that, it is going to continuously, all those parameters will also vary. For this, if you read Garud Puran and all other Purans, all this description is more nicely given there. But for the understanding of Bhagavad Gita, we are just restricting to the normal understanding that it is going to lead to. Here also, he's not said that they will, if not Brahma lok, he'll go into which particular lok. He's saying the lower categories. So it's not exactly the Brahma lok, but lower categories. Now that is immense number of lokas, it will be.
So, if it is not this combination, then any other you will be anyway.
Yes, any other, but it is going to be, it is going to be a cycle where, which is, again, it can be any lok, but you will be in that cycle, not a place from where you will not come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just one question was about Bhishma Pitama. He was, his entire life was circled around the pratigya that he had taken. But I mean, I keep thinking whether that was the right thing, because was it really
I'll
right?
tell you what, we have a very limited understanding of
Time, so
Mahabharata. We
we
believe that
can.
it is his life is around the pratigya. It is not like that. That's what B.R. Chopra says. If we see his life, and there is so much that you can learn from his life. We learn the real scripture of Mahabharata. Now, not his fault also, not the fault of the serial makers also, because they have to give the gist of the Mahabharata. But if you look at it from a more detailed perspective, he was a Vasu, and he has lived a very beautiful life. See, he has done that pratikya and he has followed it, whatever he has done. But at that particular situation, probably that was the right thing to do. And what were the different things that influenced his decisions at that particular point of time? We have to study the Mahabharata in detail for that. Also, we know only the pratikya part of it, but he is an extremely knowledgeable person. He has had he has studied from the best of the gurus, because he was the putra of Ganga Maya himself. So he has studied from great gurus, and so his life is very beautiful. His whatever he has told, the entire Vishnu Sahasranama, all these things we are getting from Mahabharata. We get a lot of things from him. So for this, we all have to study Mahabharata in a more detail to understand Bhishma Pitama. Honestly, even I don't have that level of study. I ultimately, that is also one of the goals I strive for in my life, and hopefully I'll be able to answer you much more better next time. But yeah, there is a कहते हैं ना, हमारे पास बहुत सारे concealed पहलू हैं जो हमें पता ही नहीं है. So
yeah, okay. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Sunita Devi, pranam. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi. My question got answered a bit by Beena Didi, because it was same regarding this Uttarayanam and Dakshinayanam. But still some doubt is there that if a yogi wants to leave his body, it is in Uttarayanam and Shukla Paksh. But as Shukla Paksh and Krishna Paksh both get repeated after every 15 days. Then what about Krishna Paksh in Uttarayanam? And how long is the duration of this Uttarayanam and Dakshinayanam in 1 year? I think both get repeated in 1 year.
No, Uttarayan is 6 months, Dakshinayan is 6 months. From Devashan, yeah, approximately 6 months time. Dakshinayan is a little smaller, I think, and so yeah, it is but approximately utna hi aata hai 7. So it is exactly utna nahi reh, thoda upar niche. But
okay, but still, if a yogi lives in Krishna Paksh, but it is Uttarayanan, that means he is not sure to go to the Devyan.
Yeah, it is not sure of Devyan, but obviously the benefit will be there, isn't it?
Okay, okay. Of Uttarayanam, it will be there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Didi. Thank you, Didi. So nice.
Yeah. Thank you, Didi. Jai Shri Krishna. Kusumlata Didi. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi. I'm completing level 4, and again joined level 1 also. And in that, I want to appear for the exams. And I want to be in touch with you, Didi. I stay in Hyderabad. I'm doctor, gynecologist.
Oh, it's very nice. I'm messaging you personally my number. You can call me.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
also
I
in
want to
Geeta
come and see you.
Parivar, Hyderabad, I'll tell you, Geeta Parivar, we have a Hyderabad group Hyderabad Geeta Parivar group also. I would request you to join that. We have a lot of Geeta series.
Yes, Didi. I'll be thankful to you.
Yeah, I invite you to the Hyderabad Geeta Parivar group. Together we can do a lot of series in Hyderabad.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Didi, for the ecstatic.
And if you don't have, you can take it from any of you can take it from any of your faculty members also. Most of the faculty members have my numbers. You can talk. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Jai Shri Krishna. Aarti Didi, pranam. Jai Shri Krishna. Aarti Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi. I just wanted to ask a very simple question. if we had the power to know what we have done in our last janma, so we will try to avoid it, and more of us will go to the final abode. Like, we'll lessen our mistakes.
See, some people like you might be able to do, but there would be some like me. Oh, the Sarthi Titi, last Janam, we don't even know which birth we have. See, all of us cannot be like that. And there will be so much chaos in the head. You imagine if we just remember every small thing, it is so difficult to leave the things of this life also. इसने मेरे साथ ये किया, ये इस जन्म का ही भूलना इतना मुश्किल है. If we remember and how many births we have had, not even lakhs, no, lakhs of lakhs, we don't even know. So if we have those many memories, you imagine how complicated our life will be. So whatever this pralay happens, no, that is for our benefit only. See, for Jnaneshwar Maharaj also says, when, because I know you're a Maharashtrian, he says that I have been able to talk on Geeta ji because I have not spoken a single lie. For how many janams he has said, कितनी तरी kalpa, so many lakhs of kalpa he has said that I have not spoken lies. Imagine in that many kalpa, how many births and in how many yonis. So if I must have been a rabbit in the last birth, I'll also remember which lion has eaten me. And if I recognize that lion in this birth, how am I going to keep my balance? It is very complicated. All the
Yeah,
memory
yeah.
wash, that whitewash is very much required.
Yeah. And another thing,
It
Didi, it is Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. This is just about a language, maybe, I don't know. Why that na and here na, Dakshinayana? Anything significant in it?
I am
Uttarayana
not
and
aware of that.
Dakshinayana. Okay, yeah. I just
No,
thought
I
about it because
don't.
all the other letters are the same except the and u, and the no and no. That is only the difference.
There is something which I'm not remembering the exact thing, but I'll let you know. This is ये मैंने भी पूछा था, but this is there. I'll get back to you on this.
Yeah, Didi. Thank you. And Jai Shri Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण. जय श्री कृष्ण. जी, राजीवाल प्रधान जी, please unmute.
Jai Shri Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण. प्रणाम.
My last question was the difference between mana and chitta.
Mana and chitta. So yeah, this was a very this thing, and I did try to think about it, and I did consult some trainers. So mana and chitta, you were asking what is the difference. In the last revision he had said, he had asked, now whatever is our antakaran. Now antakaran consists of 4 parts. There antakaran chatushtaya it is called. And what are the antakaran chatushtaya? Mana, buddhi, ahankara and chitta. These are the 4 parts of our antakaran. What are they? Mana, buddhi, ahankar and chitta. Now in that, now man is the part which does the sankalpa, vikalpa, that analogy, who what kind of thing has to be done, what is the sankalpa, vikalpa, what I have to do. So we are sitting in the Vivechan session now. Whether I sit in the Vivechan and continue listening or go and watch a serial on the TV, that sankalpa is what we want. That sankalpa, vikalpa, what all are the options in front of us, that part, the part of our antakaran, the part of our conscious which works on the sankalpa and vikalpa is the man. The one that takes the decision, okay, that is buddhi, nirnayatmika buddhi. Okay, and whatever is, whatever outcome happens, that outcome happens and it puts an impression on the antakaran. The part of the antakaran on which this impression is put is the chitta. Okay, that is why when we say, so whatever, so for instance, say we are two friends and I have helped a friend and the person is very happy and very happy that I have helped him. So he has a pleasant impression about me. That impression will be on the chitta. It is not on the man, it is on the chitta. But if some malignity has happened, isne meko dhoka diya, if that kind of thing, that impression also will be on the chitta. So whatever impact is going to happen, it is going to happen on the chitta. But so what happens now when the chitta is whatever chitta undergoes based on that, and ahankar is the me thing, that he has done this to me, that feeling of me. Okay, that feeling of I-ness is the ahankar. And together all these four compartments form our antakaran. Now what we say when we say that chitta Krishna ji mein lagao. Now it is like when our chitta, it is like a stagnant water. So if you imagine a stagnant water. Now when this stagnant water, you keep putting things in it, it is ultimately going to become black, or it is going to be soil. And now if you start putting a stream of water, what will happen? It will start getting cleaned. So when we say that you offer your man to me, so whatever your desires will be, that will be in sync with bhakti. And your buddhi you offer to Shri Krishna, your man and buddhi together will impact what? They will impact the chitta. Ultimately, it will be like a stream of water which is going to clean up your entire chitta. So that is why if the man and buddhi are offered to Shri Krishna, the chitta is going to become clean. And chitta is the one which is ultimately going to take you where you are. Okay, so that is the difference. I hope that makes it clear. So these are the
Yes,
four
yes,
different parts.
very clear. Very clear. And my second question is, what do you mean by Tattvadarshi?
Tattvadarshi. Tattvadarshi means now see. Tattvadarshi, this is a very important thing. Tattvadarshi is somebody who can see within. Okay, now for me, you are Rajiba Bhaiya. For me, you are I am Shraddha. Now, in among us also, there is that Brahma Tattva. There is the Tattva is common amongst all of us. A person who has that understanding, who has that complete picture of who has that clarity, that this is the tattva is same amongst all, who is able to go beyond our physical form and understand the tattva which is running us. That is a tattvadarshi.
Okay, thanks. Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna. So Mahendra Bhaiya, please unmute.
Jai Shri Krishna. Actually, I have, today I have seen whatever you have told about Dr. Jog. So I am very clear about Dr. Brahma Jog. Now I have got one suggestion and one more question. So first suggestion is, since the classes are going on, actually now we are in L4, and today, yesterday in the 10th chapter we have started, and we are now almost going to finish, because it is almost 16 sloks are over, and tomorrow it will be 20 sloks, and there are another 8 sloks are there. So by the time we get the Vivechan, the Vivechan has been given for the 8th chapter, whereas now we are in 10th chapter and we have completed 16 slokas. So we are forgetting, and we are not able to keep in our mind. Yes, I told to my trainer also, but even then from 3 sloks, he has increased to 4 sloks. I do not know what is the hurry, why she is so much hurried, because then Geeta, the concept of Geeta learning will be defeated. This is one. I think I have made myself clear. If you can understand, and if you can think that this is has got some value in the this one, you please tell to our.
Your concern. I will definitely pass it over to the people
Yes,
who are making
okay.
it.
Yes, and second question is like, we want to have liberation and all these things, where people are thinking, but all depends on whatever karma yoga and bhakti yoga and jnana yoga we have had. These are the three things I am almost gone through, because all others are very, very difficult to understand and they are much more above our head. But these three things we can understand: the jnana yoga, karma yoga, and bhakti yoga. Now, even then also some materialistic requirement is there in our life, because in our earlier days, in the Gurukul days, there people used to take care of the smaller things like the regular food and other things. Whatever was required was in the community, it was being given. But nowadays it is all small families and they have to take care of the things. So materialistic requirement is there for him. So beyond that, to come up, it becomes very, very difficult. So I do not know whether anybody will be able to get liberation or can attain anything in this life. That is my question. Can you please enlighten me in this second part?
Tell you. For this, there is a small story I remember. Once there were two
Yes,
disciples.
please do.
There were two disciples of a guru. They were also taught like this, just like how I am discussing, that there is liberation and all that. So they were told that if you do dhyan, if you concentrate, you will be able to attain the liberation. They both went and sat under a tree and started meditating. Once the guru saw, and he went and met them. So he asked the first student everything okay. He says, so are you sure ना गुरुजी मुझे मोक्ष मिल जाएगा? So he said, हाँ, definitely you will get. So he said, कब मिलेगा? When will I get? So he says, can you tell me how many leaves are there on this tree? So he said, there are many. I can't count, but yes, there are many. But he said, there are 5 trees. He said, yes. So he said, you will get moksha after, so, जितने tree leaves हैं, उतने जन्मों के बाद मिलेगा. You will get the moksha after that many janma. So he said, oh my God, then what is the point? I don't even know. He lost interest in the whole process only. Then the Guru went and met the other one. He asked, Guruji, I'm started meditating. I'm really very happy. Pakka, will I get the liberation? He said, yes, you will get. He also asked the same thing. When will I get? He told the same thing. How many leaves are there? He said, countless. He said, after that many lives only, you will get moksha. He said, okay, but that is still a finite number because the number of leaves are finite. So he said, yes, definitely you will get. So after so many, okay. So if as long as I'm going to get it in some birth, I am happy with it. So that's what we have to be the second disciple. We have to just focus on the path. It cannot happen. We know how many lives, and again, we'll attain liberation. Again, we are in this cycle. What is important? We have to be on that path. When we get, what we get, it is so much beyond our control. So this other student, how he said, you're sure that this is that my path is right? No, okay, forget it. If it is after so many leaves, so many janmas, I'm going to get. He said, you'll definitely get. But after so many lives, he said, that doesn't matter as long as I'm on the right path. So now the choice is ours. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Didi. I have understood. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Vrindavan ji, please start your video and ask.
Jai Jagannath. Hello.
Pranam. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you for your explanations, word by word. By this question answers, I got my answers. Nothing to ask you actually. I got all answers. Thank you very much for your simple answers and simple explanations.
It is all Swamiji's Kripa. He only gets it done. I don't know anything. Jai Shri Krishna. Lalita Didi, Pranam. Jai Shri Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्णा मैम.
जय श्री कृष्णा दीदी.
ये हिंदी में भगवत गीता 4th लेवल चल रहा है मैम. तो ये गाथा कारण्यासा वगैरह दिए ना मैम. कारण्यासा और हृदयान्यास, ध्यानम और गीता महात्म्यम. ये अगर ओनली 3 अध्याय रीड करे तो ये पूरा रीड करके करना मैम.
No. If you are reading only 3 adhyayas, then no need to do this. When you are sitting and doing entire Parayan of 18 chapters together, we have to sit. We have to do this. Now for this Nyas session also, you will have an interpretation of the Nyas also. Next week it will be there, and so you will get the detailed meaning of the shlokas in the Nyas, Hridayadi Nyas, everything. It will be covered there. But you have to do this. But Didi, Geeta Mahatmya, you can read anytime. Geeta Mahatmya, Prarthana, you can read. But Nyas, particularly, we have to do only when you are reading all 18 chapters together.
Okay, ma'am. Kshama Yachana, ma'am? Kshama Yachana?
Kshama Yachana, it is that also usually done after Parayan, but that Kshama मांगने में क्या है, you can do that anytime.
Okay, ma'am. ये और एक डाउट है मैम, ये उत्तरायण, दक्षिणायन, शुक्ला पक्ष और कृष्ण पक्ष बोल रहे हैं ना मैम, वो विंटर समर क्या मैम, वो विंटर समर?
तो विंटर जो टाइम विंटर शुरू विंटर एंड होने से समर तक, दैट इज उत्तरायण. व्हेन द डेज आर लॉन्गर, ओके, सो वो टाइम यू शुड नो फ्रॉम वो संक्रांति के पहले स्टार्ट होता है टिल द देवशयनी एकादशी तक जो रहता है, when the days are longer, that is Uttarayan. Then there is a time which comes, you know, in July, August, when the day becomes shorter. That is the Dakshinayan. So the sun goes in the southern hemisphere. That the day time is shorter. That is Dakshinayan. And Shukla Paksha is the Shukla is the when the moon becomes from no moon to full moon, from Amavasya till Purnima. Then when it is going big, that is Shukla Paksha. Krishna Paksha is when the moon is becoming small. So from Purnima till Amavasya, small it is becoming. When it is becoming darker, Krishna Paksha. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you also. Jai Shri Krishna. Premalata Didi. Jai Shri Krishna. Pranam.
Jai Shri Krishna Devi. Actually, I have completed the 700th sloka and you have finished the 700th interpretation. And for me, it is like as though Vasant Rutu is getting over. I will stop hearing your koel voice after all this. And I'm really feeling very emotional. That will be, I don't know whether if I join again, I have some eye issues. Whether I'll be able to join, I don't know, but I really will miss it's. But will you be explaining the Karanyas and Anganyas also?
I will probably be. See, I'll be very honest with you. I just do whatever is asked, whatever they ask me to do. So if I get the direction to do the next session, I will.
I would like to know if we can contact you personally at any time when you are free.
I have done the Nyas session in the past. It is already there on YouTube, so that also you can refer. And whoever will be doing it, if me or if anybody else is also there, that will also be good only. It is our all Vivechaks are excellent, and English and Hindi both Nyas will be done next week. It is going to be there, but who will do? And whatever it will be done, that I know that it will be as per the Geeta Parivar standards, so don't worry about it.
No, but we got, I think some 6 months ago, Shashi Tripathi Didi introduced me to attend, and I have fallen in love with your explanation so much that I enjoy that. It is so very satisfying. That's what I wanted to know, whether we can contact you at some time, which of course when a lot of doubts are there. I'm full of doubts. There is no with one session.
You can always
we are full of doubts.
Yeah, you can always route it through her, through your trainers, and I'm also there. No problem.
Can we contact you through our trainers? Can I ask the number and contact you?
Yes. Okay, Didi. No problem.
Thank you so very much. But still, I feel because for Nyas you will not be coming or may not be coming. Don't know.
Not even I don't know. But trust me, whoever will be here is going to be great. See, because that anxiety is always there. Even in school, when we go from one class to another class, we are used to one type of teacher. When we go to another, then we love the second teacher so much that we forget the first teacher. Same thing we have experienced in these classes also. So don't worry about all that. And ultimately, the learning Gita is about not falling prey to this moha. No? So I'm very
Yeah, that
happy
is there.
we had a good time. So let's
That
cherish
is there,
that.
but we are
And I'm
so
sure
much
whatever
tuned to your way
Gita
of
Parivar appoint.
explaining. Anyway, thank you so very much
Nice,
for
but
all
I'm
the
sure your
beautiful
feedback is
explanations.
good.
I'm full of doubts. That's very sure. Though all that you're explaining is sort of very
I am
clear,
not the right person to go.
but I'm full of doubts that keep on coming again and again. That's why I kept asking. Sorry for taking so much time. Jai Shri Krishna
No,
Didi.
please don't say no. Don't say
And
sorry at all. Because of sadhaks like you, that we all are having an opportunity to do the vivechan. So do not be sorry for anything. I'm always there available for any kinds of doubts. But at the same time, whoever is appointed by Geeta Parivar, by Learn Geeta for their vivechans, they are really taking good efforts. And I think I'm the most least learned of them all our Vivechaks, Ashu Bhaiya, Rupal Didi, Kavita Didi, Vanikar Kakaji, Kakiji, everybody, Sanjay Bhaiya, they are absolutely great sadhaks. We have so much to learn from their own
yes,
lives
Didi,
also.
I'm still daily, I'm every day, every weekend, I'm
They are
hearing
all
both
very
Sanjay
humble.
Bhaiya's,
So
Sanjay
do,
Bhaiya's Hindi
yes,
version as well as your
don't,
English
so
version.
yes, that's the best thing to do. Learn from everyone. Anu, Bhadro, so good thoughts should come to you from all directions. Listen to everyone, and I'm sure everything will be taken care of. Lots of best wishes to you, Didi. Don't be so emotional. At Geeta Parivar is always there. We all are always going to be together. So all the best to you. And we have been connected. That in itself is such a great thing, isn't it? So be happy. Jai Shri Krishna. Rahas Pandavaya, please unmute.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna.
Didi, as per sloka number 27, yogis do not better with this Uttarayana and Dakshinayana path. Then what is the path of yogis actually?
For yogi, they will only follow Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukta Bhavarjuna. The yogi will always be a yogi. The yogi is always going to be connected to the God all the time. Liberation, all that is how Santa Namdev Ji was. I am happy doing my bhakti. You call me to your place. He didn't bother about all that. He said, I am just happy doing my bhakti. And I'll tell you, some people, we are blessed to be in Bharat Bhumi because here we get to do the bhakti. So for yogis, it doesn't matter. They are just happy following the path of yoga, and what they get in return, they are not stuck. Their minds are not stuck to the fruits.
दीदी बट दीदी ये जो हमारे प्रारब्ध है और संस्कार है, we lead life according to that only. तो
फिर the life according to, but then ultimately we also have a buddhi, and we should have a buddhi. If we see different types of buddhi is also mentioned in, I think, the 18th chapter. So we have to have sattvic buddhi, which will take you. See, whatever is there, we cannot stay at that. Ultimately, we have to be progressive. Not only in this birth, in all the births, cumulative, there has to be a progression only. It cannot be at the same place where we are. मेरा संस्कार ऐसा है तो मैं ऐसे ही रहूंगी, ये नहीं है. We have to ultimately grow, isn't it? So we have to continuously be on a progressive path.
Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. Ji. Sharamani Didi, please unmute.
Didi. Good morning. We are blessed to listen the 17th chapter. The whole Bhagavad Gita.
Here with all of you, you all are very dedicated. Ji.
Same question, Dakshinayana, and everybody has got some same doubt.
Everybody should try to become a yogi and not bother about the Dakshinayana. Right.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, with all Guruji's blessing, we are already have become yogis, I think, because we are really, we are blessed to complete this course. I'm very happy about that. But one doubt is that suppose if someone dies in Vaikuntha Ekadashi and Masanam Margashiram, Krishna himself has told. But these are they will be in the Dakshinayinam only. So if a person dies in that time, he will get mukti, no? And so that's the point I'm not getting.
I really don't know about this. So it is mukti, but he might just get a better look. Okay, he might not come back to earth, might not come back to mukti lok, but there are different lok. Okay, so not necessarily mukti. Being maybe in Margashira, maybe it is some pious month, pious date. Okay, if that is the case, then he might get a better this thing. But see, and if he is a jnani, all this is not even going to matter. If for a jnani, if a very serious yogi, if even if he's going in Dakshinayan, even in Krishna Paksha, they don't have this binding. This binding is not for exceptional jnanis and for exceptional papis. Okay, this is only for the ones in the middle that we have to read. So if it is somebody is already a yogi, for them this Uttara and Dakshina don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Thank you, Didi, for a very good explanation. And we have enjoyed thoroughly. And if I don't continue, again I can listen to the pravachan, like continue Sunday, Saturday.
They're all on YouTube. Everything. Geeta Parivar doesn't hide anything. Everything is on YouTube. You can always continue listening, and you all will be those who are completing. There is a group who is going to continue with the 10th chapter. One batch will be completing. They all will be added to the sadhak groups. There all the Vivechan links for all 4 levels will be there. So you can continue.
Yeah, because next after some days I want to join again. So how do I know?
Join from level 1. Yeah, join from level 1. Join again from this level 1. Repeat.
But if
because
I don't
see,
join now.
Yeah, no problem. You can rejoin anytime. With the same PRN number, same mobile number, you can rejoin. You can rejoin this. You don't even need to register again. You can just go to help.geeta.com. You can rejoin a level. That is also okay. Don't worry about it. So feel free to rejoin, and we all should do. Ashabhai always says 18 times at least you should do this cycle. So we should definitely.
Not when they
Every time the classes, it becomes more and more clearer. So I'm also thankful to sadhaks, like, because of whom I also get to do my studies.
We have not just learned Geeta to read, but you have to understand deeply and follow that. Then only we will become real sadhakas. So Guruji's blessing should be.
We have a very long way to go. As I told that story about the leaves, we have a very long way to go.
But he got immediately.
But we are blessed that we are on the right path. Thanks to Swamiji that we are all on the right path.
So you should be happy. But
we should.
At least in whatever age is no limit for that to learn. So, thank you.
Pranam Didi, Jai Shri Krishna. Chinmay Bhaiya, Pranam, Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Priyadarshini
Convey my
has also placed the hand.
All the participants quoting chapter 7, verse number 3. And then I quote chapter 4, verse number 34 to you. With this, I start my question. That is, again, in fact, this we are discussing so long, the chapter 8, verse number 26. So my simple question, Bhagavad Gita, the master consultant or friend, philosopher, guide, Sri Krishna communicated this to his Shakha Krishna. right? But Bhishma, we don't know whether Pitamaha Bhishma aware of Bhagavad Gita or not, right? So even then, he achieved moksha and he controlled is because of the blessings he achieved from his father. Now, we, the member of Gita Parivar, belong to that category as mentioned in chapter 7, verse number 3, right? In that case, why you... So we belong to that group, I believe.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So in that case, definitely we all should achieve this moksha end of our life.
No, not everybody is not entitled. No, that's what the verse says in chapter 3. No? Question Mam Vetti Tattvata. Out of so many also, out of so many who are striving, very few are going to get to know me. And out of them also, very few are going to attain.
No, that is why I said if we have 8 lakhs. See, I understand from Ashubhai that we have 8 lakhs family in this Gita Parivar, right? And there may be somebody from other families also following this. So this number, as mentioned by the super consultant Lord Krishna in chapter 7, verse number 3. So we belong to that category only. So in that case, definitely we should achieve what Pitama Bhishma achieved.
We don't know which category we belong to. Let's not assume a category for ourselves. That's what I'm saying. We should always just do the yatna. Let's just practice. Category kya karna hai decide karke. Let him decide. It's his job. Why should we decide our category?
Absolutely.
Why should we bother about what is our category? That's what. Tasmad yogi bhava Arjuna. He has told, let us try to be not yogi. Now, yogi is not one step destination. Yeah, but we are in the nursery class. We have to go to KG1, KG2, first, second. Both lamba journey hai. Let us just continue. Why worry about that? See, this entire whatever discussion we have had so far, it is to understand the shlokas that what is the final destination. But ultimately, we have to know that this is the path we have to follow. It is to keep us on this particular path and not to worry about, what is the ultimate destination. Today I decide I want to be a doctor. Directly I'm trying to decide what surgeries I'm going to do. No, that doesn't work like that. No, I have a long way to go even before I can become a doctor. Then why worry about all these things so much? So I'm sure nobody is worrying also. It's only for the knowledge that people are asking, and the curiosity is the beach. It is the seed for everything. Unless and until these questions come to us, we will not be able to set ourselves on the right path. So these questions coming to us is a very positive thing. And let us use this positivity in a way that we set ourselves on a very progressive path to ultimately become great sadhaks. And under the blessings of Swamiji, I'm sure each one of us will be, reaching at least somewhere. Swamiji, when he says that, his understanding also, he says that I have a lot more to go, and we all are so much far behind. So we have a long way to go. Let us just continue on this path, each one of us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. And Priyadarshan Pantji, you have to start your video so that Jatvi Didi can, spotlight you. Then only we can take your question. Spotlight, and then you can switch off the video. Just for the purpose of spotlighting, we need you to turn on the video at least for a second. Okay. Till then, we can proceed further. Aisha Didi. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi. Thank you so much for your easygoing doubt clearing session. We are greatly indebted to you. It was really easy to understand what all you explained. Geeta Parivar is doing so much for this noble cause. I would like to thank Geeta Parivar for working day and night to fulfill this virtuous cause. I appreciate the efforts of the volunteers and Geeta Sevis working in this Parivar. May Sanatan Dharma and Krishna Kripa keep flowing. Offering all that we have learned today at the lotus feet of the Lord, I call upon Suma Bhattji for the ending prayer. She is a graduate homemaker from Kumta, Karnataka. She gives seva as a GC and trainer since April 2023 when she joined Geeta Parivar. Over to you, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna. योगेशं सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. जय श्री कृष्ण.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार. जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समभाई सहस बदन तुम रोज सगावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर पल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बल बीरा. जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय.
Jai Shri Krishna to everyone. We'll meet next Sunday. Thank you, Didi. Jai Shri Krishna.